Stanton just left the game. How the hell did he just leave the game? He's only been playing 3 games since he got back.
What's going on, guys? Another edition of Analytically Correct with Stretch here, producer, Marty, Rob over here. We're going to start, we're over here on University at Public House, connected to Shamrock Liquors, a sponsor. Come and buy all their booze. We're going to start by talking about, I think, the NBA draft. That was like the main thing that happened this past week. We'll get into anything you guys want as far as the comments go, but we were talking earlier in the week about Zion and everything like that, and I think, not to mischaracterize you, but you said Zion was pretty much a big fat phony.
I did not say he was a phony by any means.
You said that his tears were fake.
No, I said his tears. Here's the thing. I
told him man up, pick his shoulders up.
No, it's just this guy was force-fed for us to love, like more like since LeBron James. They said he's the best prospect.
State your case. State your case.
They said he's the best prospect since LeBron James.
Everybody thought that was a very like heartfelt moment. So state why you hated it.
Here's not that I hated it. It's just like. And here's my thing. It's not like he woke up and was like, man, you know, I really hope I get drafted. Man, I really hope Nike likes me. Like, Nike went out and got him custom shoes within the middle of the week when his shoe blew out. Like, this guy from the moment he stepped on Duke, he all of a sudden overtook R.J. Barrett to be the #1 pick. If he wasn't going #1, he was going to #3 at the minimum. At the minimum at that. And that still was like, if he would have went 2, it would have been even crazier than when Durant went 2.
But my whole thing was just, it's a human moment. It's awesome. That's why we watch sports.
Yes.
To see this guy, he's overwhelmed by the moment and his emotions, and he cries because he's picked #1 overall, and his entire life he's 18 years old.
Yes.
We get jaded because we're older.
Yes, and when you made that point to me, that's when I definitely see it that way.
We get jaded. This guy's 18 years old. His entire life has led up to this point. I have not saying that you had an issue with him crying. I think you were just more like...
you should have expected.
I was kind of like touched by it, and I was like, that's why I love sports. You were kind of like, oh, well, you knew you were going #1, so like...
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just like... It was just common knowledge. Like I said, they said he was the best prospect since LeBron James. And in between that, there's been Anthony Davis and Durant, which I think is BS. Complete BS, but...
Wait, what's BS?
Oh, he's not the best prospect since LeBron. Kevin Durant still played in college. Blake Griffin was still a very good college prospect coming out, as well as Anthony Davis. They were all top-tier prospects. Kevin Durant was better than all those prospects technically coming out of college.
I don't think so.
I mean, he was at Texas. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic.
I don't remember Durant being as hyped up as Zion is.
We also had Greg Oden coming out, which Greg Oden was supposed to be the next great big man.
Well,
too.
he went to Ohio State, so that's what fucked him up.
Yeah. I'm expecting more about, I trashed Michigan, now I'm trashing Ohio State this week. I need some more support on that.
That was his mistake, going to Ohio State. If he never went to Ohio State, he would have had solid knees.
And I guess my big thing with the whole thing, I understand, it was a big moment for him, obviously. It's not to take away any moment from this or that. I guess just me kind of just being...
He was just overwhelmed by the moment, and he was crying, and to me it was like, okay, you know you're going #1, that's fine. But your entire life, like, none of us have achieved anything close to what he's achieved. Your entire life led up, if it was like bartender of the year.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's a hell of an award to win. Oh, man.
I knew I was going to be bartender of the year.
Bartender of the year.
But now that I'm shaking Corey's hand.
Bartender of the year. If Corey gives me that award, I'll be actually upset.
But now that I'm actually shaking his hand, like, I don't know how to react. No, his whole life, and then not only that, it's almost like they're winning the lottery. Like, you're going to get drafted, that's fine. You're winning the lottery, like you're gonna have more money than any other generation in your family has ever had.
It was just like every moment you turn since, I wanna say January, he was the #1 pick. Every moment, every TV, no matter what it was, station it was, there was never an argument, that was the thing. He was never argued, there was never an argument, who's the #1 pick? No, who's the #2 pick was the argument, because everyone knew who #1 was. And my big thing with high school basketball now versus like before, these guys are playing in academies that are set to only produce them to go pro, like the IMGs, the Mount Verdes, all these, the Oak Hills, like these are academies that are just out there. They're not going to school. They're learning how to play, like getting ready for professional basketball.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole thing when it goes into getting into paying college athletes and everything. It's like, oh, well, they're getting paid with their education. It's like they're not going to use that ever.
No, yeah.
The guys who make the money for the schools are not the one who's going to use their education.
Basketball, you go to a semester and that's it.
They could not. The small amount of time that they're there, they could not go to a single class, and by the time that anyone figures it out, they're going to be in the NBA.
Yeah, it's like Ben Simmons said he went to 2 classes, and that was it.
And I think he was probably lying. It was probably less than that.
I think he may have walked into class twice and walked out, and that's about it.
Yeah, they should have had a class to teach him how to shoot.
Oh man, clearly that's why he didn't attend that class. That's the class he stepped in twice and thought he had it all figured out.
But it is crazy. And then you watch, when we watched the draft, most of the stuff went in order. We knew Zion was going 1,
Yeah.
John Morant was going 2. We knew the Knicks were going to take R.J. Barrett. And it's kind of crazy because as a Pistons fan, I just hate everything in life and everybody. My point being, the Pelicans had Anthony Davis. They wasted his prime. He still has prime left, but they wasted most of his prime, and now they're just getting the next Anthony Davis.
I don't know if they can really say
It's a new GM. It's a different GM.
But he's a lot cheaper too, though. That's the thing. That's what creates.
But Anthony Davis was on the same contract when he got drafted.
Right. I mean, yeah, I get that, but he was also coming up on another contract. It's like, obviously, if he's clearly not going to play for them. I mean, my thing with, well, I guess the whole Anthony Davis, you can't really say they wasted his primes. They did try to put people around him. There were just times it just didn't work. And it's just, I think it's clear in the league, you cannot build with a big man. I said this a couple times now, like,
Even if it's Anthony Davis?
yeah, no, there's no big man right now. Giannis, you can't. He loses to the 70s. He loses to the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, but he didn't lose because of Giannis.
I'm not saying, but there's like he has shooters, he has this and that, but you can't build a focal point through just the big man.
I think that's wrong. I told Stretch I'm sick like this. After the draft happened, I'm already looking at mock drafts for next year.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 pick next year is projected to be a center.
And
'Cause-
DeAndre Ayton was last year as well.
Yeah, well, he's more power forward than center.
He's a 7-footer.
Yeah.
He's a 7 foot. I mean, he's a thick guy too. 7 foot. I think 250.
The point being is when Stretch was saying we had a bet between me and Brett that Taco Fall would get drafted, which it didn't happen.
No, it did not. He signed a 10-day with the Celtics, right?
Once I saw Bull go to 44th, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck. Like I know this guy's not getting drafted. But Stretch was kind of making the point like, oh, the center is not like part of the game anymore. But also the point being, the number 1 overall pick projected for next year is a center. If you have the talent, you have the talent.
I get that, but let's also look at the past 5 championships. Who's the center for those past 5 championships? They're literally guys you're
All
plug-
Bogut?
Yeah, you're plug and play. You're plug and play guys. You're JaVale McGee's. You're Bogut. You're Marc Gasol way out of his prime right now. I mean, it's like guys that are now plug and play guys. You can just find a role for a center. Hell, Brook Lopez was coming out playing the 5 behind, for a little bit with Milwaukee and looked like a brand new Brook Lopez. You can find plug and play guys. I just don't think that if I'm starting a franchise, I would not want to put a lot of my money into a center right away, even if it's Anthony Davis, to be honest with you. And I get what Anthony Davis, and it's no knock to what he do, because he's hands down one of the best big men we've ever seen.
I agree with you in the point that you don't want your team to be built around a center, but I think the exception is Anthony Davis.
We'll see, though. We will see on that. And
Everyone knows this, or maybe everyone doesn't, but he was a point guard in high school. He grew like 6 inches in 1 year.
He's
not your normal center.
He's not. And it's like Karl Anthony Towns was said to be the same way. He was supposed to, according to Cal and a lot of people, he's supposed to be the next Anthony Davis, is not better. And
I still like Towns, but he's not as good as Anthony Davis.
he doesn't have that mindset like Davis does either, though. Like, I think Towns is a good player, but I think at the same time, if you test him, he doesn't like it. Hence why him and Jimmy didn't get along, because Jimmy will test his teammates.
This to me is going to be the first time that LeBron is not the best player on his own team. We can say this. Anthony Davis is better than LeBron James.
Oh yeah, yes.
And people forget I think he's 26.
And we're not. And when we say this before people blow up on us, we're not saying it all the time. We're just talking about at this very state in life right now. Anthony Davis is better right now. Like at this very state, playing the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people blowing up thinking we're saying Anthony Davis is all-time better than LeBron, obviously.
No. And it kind of went with, you can compare this to Chris Paul too. He was wasting away in New Orleans too, and then once he gets more notoriety, people are like, oh, Chris Paul is one of the best point guards of all time. Once Anthony Davis starts being in these primetime games, you'd be surprised how many people have not watched Anthony Davis play.
And you're very right, because when DeMarcus Cousins wasn't playing, he went on a 6-game stretch of like averaging like 45 and 15. Like
the playoffs bear this out, where people who don't watch basketball day in and day out, night in, night out, they're like, oh wow, this guy Giannis Antetokounmpo, I can't even pronounce his name. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Kawhi Leonard, he's sick. You have to see him in the playoffs when people are actually watching. When people start seeing Anthony Davis next year, it's going to be the highest profile he's ever had.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's insane how good he is.
How about the Lakers crying for D'Angelo Russell to come back? That's great in my opinion. Now that they realize Magic Johnson can't do his job and he's not that good.
How dumb? Is there a more dumb trade than that? Oh, he told on this guy for cheating on his girlfriend, so we got to trade this like top 5 pick.
It was just like, it was because, well, it also started when Magic said he can't be a leader. It's like, all right, Magic, so he can't be a leader. So Lonzo's a leader?
You know who also can't be a leader? A guy who...
Oh, God, is it Parker?
You know who also can't be a leader? A guy who quits and leaves his job. Someone threw up on Rob's shirt. Oh.
Yeah.
Brett's in the house.
Oh, good, it's Brett. A National League lover. This will be fun in about 10 minutes.
No, but it's ridiculous. Anthony Davis has the potential to be the best player in the league. Like, he should be the favorite for MVP next year.
I think if Joel Embiid's healthy, I think Joel Embiid healthy, when he's fully healthy, is the best.
But
big
he's
man.
never healthy.
That's
though.
the thing. I completely and especially at playoff time, he's never healthy.
And you say these things about all these guys, like, oh, if they're healthy, this, if they're healthy, that.
But Embiid has shown plenty of flashes too, though. But my thing with Embiid is these 7-footers.
Do you think? I'm not saying yes or no either way. Do you think Embiid is better than Anthony Davis?
At this very state, no, to be honest, because obviously Anthony Davis. I mean, the thing that killed Anthony Davis' value this year.
If they're both at their best, do you think Embiid can be better?
Embiid's got better defense. I mean, Embiid's a great defender. He's a tremendous.
Anthony Davis can win Defensive Player of the Year if he wanted to.
Yeah, but, okay, so all right, if he wanted to, you know who said that? The GM of the Rockets said that about James Harden too.
Well,
if
he's
he wanted to.
No,
if he wanted to.
There's differences. Harden could never win Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron, if he tried, could win Defensive Player of the Year. That's not what he's going.
Not
for.
right now.
Yeah, he could.
No, not a shot in hell.
Next year.
No, Paul George is going to be a better defender than him no matter what. Rudy Gobert, Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson. I mean, not a shot in hell. If LeBron tried his hardest on defense, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year. They're just guards they're forwards that are more athletic than him right now. He can't contain the best players at his position.
This is going to be the most underrated thing next year, and I would put money on this. Next year is going to be one of LeBron's best years of his career.
I think efficiency-wise.
He's going to come back, and people are talking all this shit. All he did was get hurt. This is the only thing LeBron James did wrong last year. No, listen. This is the only thing LeBron James did wrong last year. He got hurt for the first time ever in his career, and he missed however many games, and that's why they missed the playoffs. Other than that, he's been the best player of all time.
But when he came back, they were a game and a half out of the 8th seed, and then they kept dropping when he was playing. If you're a game and a half out with like 15-plus games, you can still make the playoffs. And then he shuts it down when they're 3.5 behind. That to me is just a problem. Sorry.
Who is the second best player on that team?
Probably Kyle Kuzma.
Not good.
Oh, stop. Kyle Kuzma is good.
If he's your second best player.
Here's one thing we got to realize too about LeBron James. He doesn't make players around him better. When players leave
that's
LeBron,
all he does is make players around him better.
No, he does not.
That's one of his biggest strengths.
Well, in a LeBron fan's eyes, yes. No, look at all the players that leave that play better without him. It happens all the time.
He's a facilitator, though.
No. I get he may have the statistics, he'll fill up a box score, but players literally leave him and play better. You had Rodney Hood leaves the Cavaliers, plays better.
But they get higher usage rates. That doesn't necessarily mean they're better. It just means they get more
Rodney
stats.
Hood, before he went to the Cavaliers last year when he was on Utah, he was averaging 16 a game. He was a fantastic player. There was no reason why Rodney Hood should not have been playing at the same level with that team. Because who was the next best player on that Cavaliers team 2 years ago? It was LeBron and then nobody. Legit. J.R. Smith, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Was that the Dellavedova year?
It was awful. And it's not that I'm knocking LeBron here, but people do not realize.
I think that's crazy to say that he doesn't make people around him better, because that's one of the things I think he does best is he's a facilitator. He makes people around him better.
Guys around him don't get better all the time. When you look at a lot of guys that leave, they play better without him. They actually play fine without him. Lonzo Ball I think is doing just fine in New Orleans. In fact, I think his best year is going to be this year coming up. You'll have no attention at him. What's going on here?
Brett said there's a difference between leaving someone and getting double the touches, which is what I was saying. Once you get the usage rate, if you're talking about a Rodney Hood, you might put up better stats, but it doesn't mean you're a better player. You're better with LeBron around you.
Yeah, if you're LeBron's friend, yes. Like, there's no reason why J.R. Smith should be touching the ball at all in that year. There's no reason why J.R. Smith should be touching the ball. He shouldn't be in the playoffs touching the ball. He shouldn't be in a starting rotation touching the ball.
Well,
like I said, he's going to go after friend after friend after friend, which is fine if you're his friend. But when you have, he has plenty of scapegoats in his career too. He's always got someone to blame.
One of the arguments for me why I think LeBron is like the best player of all time is he's played with such shitty players for his whole career.
Well, he thinks he's a GM.
Yeah, but it's not. So his best player that he ever played was Wade and then Bosh. When he was in Cleveland, he was playing with like shit players.
Kyrie was better than Bosh.
The year that they came back and won the championship, that team had no business winning the championship. It was strictly on LeBron's shoulders. And Kyrie had a good series too.
Kyrie, hold on now. Let's give respect to both sides, because without Kyrie, LeBron's even acknowledged Kyrie. Without him, he can't win that championship. Kyrie dropped 41 with him in one.
Right.
Was it game 5 when they both dropped 41?
But it's because that was only a 2-player team. It's not because like LeBron had everyone else helping him.
And I get that, but at the same time, without Kyrie, that team has literally no shot of winning that championship.
Right, but look what Kyrie did in Cleveland without LeBron. They didn't even make the playoffs. I don't think they ever made the playoffs.
First 3-4 years, he was still learning the game. He was 18 when he came out. He played 6 games in college. This guy wasn't a seasoned rookie coming out. He struggled his first couple years in Cleveland because it was literally just him and missed draft picks. Was it Bennett was the first overall pick with him?
It was either Alex Len or Anthony Bennett.
No, it was Bennett.
That was one of the worst first overall picks of all time.
They didn't draft to help either on that.
I scored as many points as him, I think.
Because, if Wiggins plays with Kyrie, there's no saying on that, but at the same time, at least that was the only good pick after Kyrie for them, and they traded that off for Kevin Love. I just don't, and it's no knock to LeBron, because of course LeBron is, in my opinion, going to be a top 3 player of all time.
Who's 1 and 2?
Well, you're going to have Michael in there, and 2 is still a toss. You still have a lot of guys that are in that conversation for the 2 mark. And LeBron's, of course, in that 2 mark. Whether he's 1, 2, or 3, he's not 1. He's 2 or 3 within the book when it's all said and done. I know people are going to kill him on his finals and his finals record.
LeBron is 1.
LeBron's not better than Michael. Stop.
LeBron's 1.
Come on.
I don't know if we want to get into this whole thing right now. How many times people have heard this argument?
I'm going to hear him, and
just look at them as players.
And look at
LeBron.
Look at the bullshit conference he went through for years in the East. There were years where he's going 6-7 games with Roy Hibbert and Paul George.
Okay, so everybody wants to get hung up on Michael Jordan. Every time he made it to the finals, he won the championship. But what about all the years he didn't make it to the finals?
He was losing to the Celtics.
LeBron made it to the finals 8 straight years.
I get that, but who did he play with in that conference? That conference was horrible up until this year. That conference was at its best this year. And it's not because LeBron left, it's because guys got better. The Sixers got better. The Milwaukee got better.
Or did they look better because LeBron wasn't playing against them?
No, because Milwaukee, for God's sakes, they got the MVP. The 76ers added Tobias and Jimmy.
What did Milwaukee change from when
Toronto added Kawhi Leonard. These guys were not...
Toronto added Kawhi. What did Milwaukee change?
They got more experience. That's a lot of change. You can't say experience isn't great change, especially playoff experience.
I love Giannis, but...
he just averaged 29 and 12. That's experience right there.
All you're saying for Milwaukee's sake is they were a year older.
I don't see how that's.
That has nothing to do with LeBron, though. They didn't get better. They're just a year older.
Yeah, they did. Their development got them better. So you can't tell me that Cavaliers team is going to play that Milwaukee team. And let's remember that last Cavaliers, because that last Cavaliers team.
He came back from 3-1 down.
That was not that Cavaliers team. That was Cavaliers teams for 4 years ago. We're talking about that Cavaliers from 2 years ago.
I love the Raptors team this year, and I love Kawhi, and he's awesome. But what he did this year does not compare to what LeBron did coming back 3-1.
I'm not. That was never in comparison. All I'm saying is this.
We're talking about LeBron.
I get that. We're talking about that last year in Cleveland, though. So let's say that last year in Cleveland team. That last year in Cleveland was 4 seed, and they struggled with a lot of teams. And luckily for them, there was no Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris in Philly at the time. There was no Kawhi in Toronto at the time. There was not a more experienced Milwaukee team at the time.
The thing is, when LeBron was in the East, he didn't struggle with teams.
Going to 7 games with some of those teams is
Well, maybe the Celtics, but he always made it to the finals.
Well, he went to 7 with the Pacers.
So you need 7 more years of Milwaukee or Toronto or any of these teams to compare what LeBron did.
No, I'm not saying what he did, but at the same time, when I'm talking about what he did, his teams that he was going up against in the Eastern Conference were notably weaker. They were just notably. Think about it. But
now that LeBron's not there, then all of a sudden the Eastern Conference is so much better.
No, I'm not saying it's so much better, but it's more.
It has something to do with him not being there.
No, I think you're discounting the fact that Philadelphia literally added 2 superstar guys on their team.
Okay.
2 max salary guys.
Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler are not superstars.
Okay, at least give Jimmy.
As somebody who had Tobias Harris on their team, He's not a superstar.
He's still going to get a max contract at the end of the day. I'm talking about 2 max
Yeah,
contract
but
guys.
there's 30 max slots in the league. Everyone gets a max contract.
To get a max contract, you're top percentile.
Jimmy Butler he has to be the 3rd best player on your team.
I think he'd be a 2nd, because if he goes to Houston, Houston's in serious contention of winning. And he'd be the 2nd best player on the team.
Every team he goes to, everyone hates him.
Well, because he's a dick.
It's like Kyrie. You're a Celtics fan, and somehow you have an all-star point guard, but everyone's happy to see Kyrie leave.
But also these guys that are in the league, that for a little while, they don't like these younger guys. These younger guys are a full generation behind
Jimmy
them.
Butler's like 26. He's not an old guy.
Well, he doesn't like.
He's just an asshole.
He doesn't get along with Kat, and he's 20. Like that's a big disparity between those two. Also Jimmy Butler was a grinder. He went junior college before he went to even before he was it Marquette he went to?
Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
You know what I can relate to Jimmy Butler is when I go to work and some of these younger people I work with, I'm like, it's a pussy.
Yes.
Oh, you're working a double, you need a break? Yeah, pick your fucking shoulders up. You don't need a break.
Yes, it's and I know 5 years isn't a full generation difference, but it's like it is in sports. It definitely is in sports.
It kind of is. If you work, I'm 27. If I work with somebody who's 22, and like, oh, I'm working a double, I need a break in the middle of my double. I'm like, you need a break? You pussy.
Yeah, like that's my thing with Jimmy is Jimmy's got to be with the right group. Think about Minnesota.
But what's the right group, though? I mean, Tom Thibodeau
Houston,
is his coach.
I think Houston is. He may love Tibbs, but he's going to get away from him. And I think Houston would be a great fit for him.
Thibodeau is like, Jimmy Butler is like, yes.
I loved him in Philly.
Thibodeau is like that manager at your job, and Jimmy Butler is like the guy who's like, we need to crack down on all these pussies around here. So Jimmy Butler wants Thibodeau. He's like, we got to start running more sprints.
If Jimmy played with the Lakers, if he teams up with, and my big thing is, if he teams up with Kawhi and the Clippers, I think that's the best team in basketball. Especially if they re-sign Beverly.
I think a good fit for Butler would be the Heat. As far as like the culture thing.
Why do people want him on the Heat?
Well, as far as the culture thing goes, and he wants to be like all high and mighty.
I have friends that want him on the Heat too. Some of them are Heat fans, some of them aren't. But I'm just like, I'd rather him stay in Philly.
I'm a Pistons fan. I don't want Jimmy Butler on my team. I don't have anybody on my team.
So what if you could lose Andre Drummond? Would you take him then?
I want anybody instead of Andre Drummond.
Hassan Whiteside, Andre Drummond, swap.
I don't give a fuck if you get 25 rebounds a game. Okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference.
Where's Durant going? Oh, Durant. Where's Durant going? If you saw the odds this morning, actually, I'll pull it up for you guys all to see because
we're not insiders.
No, not at all.
As you well know.
But Vegas odds shows my Brooklyn Nets. Are we on? Can you see it? My Brooklyn Nets are the favorite right now for Kevin Durant to go to.
Well, why would you go to the Nets? What's all this talk about the Nets? Why would you want to go to the Nets instead of the Knicks?
Because nobody cares about big markets anymore. Think about it. Some of the biggest profiles, Giannis, Milwaukee.
So why go to New York at all? Because I'd rather live in Miami than New York.
Well, Brooklyn has 2 major slots that are open. They're the only team that's ahead of them is the Knicks, but after they'll probably get rid of one more player to clear complete space, I think, to get 81 million.
You're already rich, and you make. Okay, so hear me out. You make the majority of your money outside of basketball if you're Durant.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just go to the Lakers?
Why would he? Because, okay. So
why wouldn't you just take $10 million a year?
Because the Lakers front office, first of all, stop it. Because the Lakers front office is so much worse than ours. Like it's notably worse than ours.
If Durant goes to the Lakers, they'll win the championship the next year.
Well, it sounds like we said that last year about somebody.
Who?
We said that last year about a man who wears 23, and then the front office screwed it up for him. That Lakers front office is so screwed up. I would be very shocked if they make a run at the title.
But as screwed up as they are, they just got 2 of the top 5 players in the league in the last 2 summers.
Well, one was destined to go there.
So
the other one,
what else could they do worse? They just got Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Okay, I understand what you're saying there. So how are you going to get Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant? That's not going to happen. There's a reason why they're looking at.
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you're Kevin Durant, you make most of your money outside of basketball. Up front, this is not going to happen. But just think about it. You make most of your money outside of basketball. You already won championships. Take like whatever 23 million, whatever cap space they have left, and then you go play with Anthony Davis.
The Tom Brady effect. The Tom Brady effect. Good luck with that. Come on. All I'm saying is you can't compare our front office.
It's not going to happen. I'm just saying.
Our front office has done a lot better job of cleaning
up. Who's your front
office? Brooklyn. Brooklyn's front office has done a great job cleaning up. There's a reason why people want to play in Brooklyn. A lot of free agents want to play in Brooklyn.
What's the reason? I don't understand.
Because you can see, number one, we have one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. If you put Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving next to Joe Harris, next to LeVert, next to Dinwiddie, It's going to be damn near.
Well,
impossible.
LeVert's a good guy. I'll say that.
Joe Harris is one of the best. He just won. I'm not in by no means.
Guy.
I'm not taking any. I don't believe the three-point contest shooter is always the best three-point shooter. He's definitely not. But he's showcased out there. He can shoot the three ball. And he showcased all season he can shoot the three ball. When you have a lot of shooters, and Jared Allen, his prime goal is just to be a great defender and just to meet people up at the rim. I do think if we do land Kyrie, we're getting Kevin Durant.
I think Kawhi should go to the Pistons.
Wow.
If he really wants to show everybody.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you know what?
Be a trendsetter.
You know, he would bring back Pistons basketball as defense first.
Somebody
mentality.
go to the Pistons, please.
You got Blake Griffin. You're being greedy now. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, we have him because he got trapped. The Clippers. The Clippers said if he re-signed, they wouldn't trade him. As soon as he re-signed, they traded him.
You got an All-NBA player.
No, it's fine. It's whatever.
Put it this way, we don't have a Rob Pelinka in the Brooklyn system, and that alone makes us a better
Fab
system.
Five member. Well, he was like the 6th or 7th or 8th guy, but
Like,
Pelinka was on that team.
was he really?
Yeah, Rob Pelinka was the white guy in the background.
You know,
He was the one. He was the one that told Chris Webber to call him time out.
I need to rewatch that documentary.
No, Rob Pelinka was on the Fab Five.
See, that's where it all went wrong. You guys have Pelinka.
No, you know what? Wherever Kawhi goes is going to be the favorite.
I think Clippers.
The Clippers won 2 games against the Warriors at full strength.
I think the Clippers are right now have a great shot of winning it all.
Is Brett saying that David Griffin sucks, the GM, or Blake Griffin sucks? Because Blake Griffin doesn't suck.
All NBA 13.
Yeah, he was LeBron-esque this year.
He actually really was. He played a really good season.
The free agency is kind of has a damper on it though with Durant being out all next year and Klay Thompson.
I still think he's coming back for the playoffs.
If you know anything about Klay Thompson, he's definitely coming back for.
That's a torn ACL. He'll be back mid-season.
Yeah, he's gonna Adrian Peterson.
Like,
for
we're
sure.
acting like torn ACLs don't get fixed every day now, and especially in sports. And torn Achilles, it's gonna take him 9 months. He'll be back at the playoff time. That'd be a full year, damn near. That'd be about 11, 10 months at that mark.
Brett asks, who's your team? Your team is the
Brooklyn Nets. Big Nets guy.
Do you want Kyrie?
Yes, because without Kyrie,
want Kyrie?
Because without Kyrie, we're not going to get another free agent. You have to have Kyrie for that sole purpose.
I'd rather have D'Angelo Russell than Kyrie.
But how many? And I agree with that on the
even though he went to Ohio State.
I agree with that especially on the age factor because he's only 22. But how many guys want to play with D'Angelo Russell versus how many guys have vocally said they want to play with Kyrie? You've had multiple players.
Who said they want to play with Kyrie?
Jimmy and KD. There's a reason why KD and Kyrie.
I don't want Jimmy Butler on my team. I don't want Kyrie on my team.
You know, as on that Brooklyn Nets team where he doesn't have to worry about being one of the best shooters and he can just play his game and play his game the way he's playing, and how we're a gritty defensive team
We
too.
just saw him with the Celtics being the best player on the team, and what did it get you? They were better off without him.
Yeah, but also we don't have that many mouths to feed when it comes to, and like as in like we don't have we have to make sure Jason Tatum's getting his 15 shots. We don't have a Gordon Hayward to make sure he's getting all those shots. We're a better group.
Jason Tatum is better than Kyrie. He said Blake Griffin's overrated. I mean, I think he's pretty properly rated. I mean, Eddie Griffin also overrated.
Eddie Griffin also overrated.
Blake Griffin, nobody talks about him. He's not overrated, underrated. He's just regularly rated.
If we were to sign D'Angelo Russell, there's no one that's gonna really come out there. Yeah, Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris to come play with us. That's awesome. We're not gonna attract a bigger guy unless we have Kyrie.
This is my thing about Tobias Harris. If he's so good, why has he been on 10 million teams?
That's another aspect I have, especially the Clippers, who were a playoff group coming in. There's a reason why the Clippers we don't want to pay this guy coming up. We're gonna dish him off and get some other players.
He's gonna get a max contract. Yeah, congratulations. You're gonna have a max guy who's going to be the 3rd best player on a championship team.
But like I said, we have to get
Andre
Kyrie in order to
Drummond.
get KD. We have to. It's.
I hate Andre Drummond so much.
Dude, and the worst part about it, he leads the league in rebounds every year.
Oh, good. 60 rebounds. Great.
Yeah. He'll grab you 16 rebounds.
He's 20 and 20, and we're going to lose by 20.
I love when these players are show their off-season workouts. They're like LA Fitness, completely empty, and they're shooting 3 balls. I can hit 15 threes in a row. But as soon as they get on the court, they won't even attempt a 3-pointer. That's what Andre was doing last year. I remember that. It was great.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's like Markelle Fultz practicing his behind the back dribbling, and he never dribbles a ball on the court now.
Brett was saying all Kyrie does is shoot. All the Nets starters averaged double digits last year. That's fine, but averaging double digits for every starter is not a statistic that necessarily translates into wins. I'd rather have Kyrie than anybody that's on the Nets, but it doesn't necessarily mean I like Kyrie.
Well, you just said you would take D'Angelo over Kyrie.
Well, yeah, I just like his game better. We saw what happened with
He's
Kyrie.
a shooter. I mean, he shoots a lot too. And there are times this guy, he'll have a Joe Johnson where he'll be 2 for 10. He doesn't care. He'll just keep chucking it up. And it's no, I mean, I like Russell, but I don't think there's really a good comparison when you're looking at Russell and Kyrie. I do think you're gonna take Kyrie on.
I think what he's saying as far as Tobias Harris is like a great 4th best player. When Philly signed him, they were saying, oh, they have one of the best starting lineups in the league.
Well, he was a good 3-point shooter. His 3-point shooting was at his best this year.
He needs to be your Iguodala.
Yeah.
If he's with Philly or whatever team he's with, they're not going to win shit. But if he's your 4th best player, he's Iguodala.
A big rumor I know the Celtics are talking about are going after Kemba Walker.
I love Kemba.
I think Kemba and the Celtics would be. I think it would help him out because he just has that winning aspect on him. He just wants to win. But I think how much do they really want to go out there and go get another big guy now? Because they got to get rid of Gordon Hayward, which I think may be damn near impossible.
Traditional Brett fashion, I misquoted him. He said, that wasn't my point. He said, would you take 30-plus shots? Kyrie doesn't take 30 shots a game. Nobody takes 30 shots a game. It's not the Kobe era anymore.
You know, I would give it. No, I would take James Harden on the Nets for all I care. He shoots 30 shots. I would take him on the Nets.
Well, then the whole shit that's going on with right now with the Rockets is like, Chris Paul hates James Harden. Just get along and run it back.
But how much of that is truly really being said?
No, I think they hate each other.
I don't know if they really. Yeah, I just think a lot of it's kind of NBA I think a lot of these reporters want to start a rift.
But it's like the Drake thing. It's like for Chris Paul, it's like you know what it was when you signed up. It's like when you went to go play with James Harden, you knew what you were getting into. Mm-hmm. You knew that he was going to take however many shots a game.
I mean, I never liked Chris Paul with him anyways. I don't like having multiple guys that want to be point guards on the team. Just let James Harden run the point and let the team play as they go.
All that being said, they almost beat the Warriors. It works.
Not this year.
But now the Warriors don't have KD, and now they don't have Klay Thompson. Just run it back, and you have a chance to win.
But that Rockets team, I mean, I understand that they also lost some players too. Like Trevor Ariza was a big part of that when they almost beat the Warriors. That Rockets team that almost beat the Warriors, I thought was the second best team that year. They were a very determined group, but once again, Chris Paul's missing in the playoffs. I understand people he was hurt, but.
I'm just laughing at it.
Oh, I love Brett.
I just keep misquoting him.
I don't know if I know the Rockets are, like I said, the report today was they're looking for sign and trade possibilities of Philly for Jimmy Butler right now. So you could see a couple guys, a PJ Tucker, some draft picks, and a Clint Capella probably on their way out if that happens.
Did we talk? We kind of skipped over it. We started talking about Zion crying. Did you have any other thoughts about the draft at all?
It was expected 1, 2, 3. I mean,
yeah, everything kind of went how we thought it was going to go. I liked the point guard from North Carolina going to the Bulls.
Yeah,
I think that was a good pick.
I did like his reaction to his teammate going 11. His reaction to his teammate going 11.
You just hate people being emotional?
No, I literally just said I liked his reaction. That was one of his best.
I thought you didn't like
he didn't cry, so it made it better. But he went out there and he was with.
He was excited for the guy.
He was, and it was a buddy that he worked out with. It was a teammate of his, someone that he just watched try to push himself to get to that. So it was good to see that. I like seeing that. But with the draft, as a Nets fan, all I want to see us do is trade picks so we can clear space. That's all I want as a team this year. I mean, and we did exactly that. So hopefully everything goes the way I'm hoping it does, like I said. But Kobe White went where? The Bulls?
Yeah, to the Bulls. 7
right here.
Yeah. RJ Barrett to the Knicks. He's almost guaranteed not to have a good career now because he went to the Knicks.
I like the Hawks and what they've been doing. The Hawks have really been investing into the draft and going very
Cam Reddish is not as bad as people think he is. Everyone hates Cam Reddish because he was the third best player on a team that had 3 really good fucking players.
And he's probably the third best player on this Hawks team coming up.
Yeah.
The Hawks have put up a lot of their young talent in. I'd like seeing where they go. I want to see what they look like here down the road. Hopefully, because I thought Phoenix would maybe get it together, but clearly they haven't yet. So I think Phoenix should have it together next year, but we'll see. I think they should be able to make a rest. Same with Sacramento. Sacramento looked like they were really getting it together.
I was excited at first to watch Zion and Anthony Davis together, pick and roll, all that kind of thing. And I realized, we're going to have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. That's also going to be really good.
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
But now you're going to have, what's the starting lineup? Is going to be Zion Williamson, Drew Holiday, They have a pretty solid team. I mean, I think
Yeah, all in all, they were showing it. God, I should have taken a picture. I don't remember, but they were showing what the starting five would be over there. I still think they should have tried it. They should have held out for Kuzma, and they didn't. But with that being said, I mean,
yeah, he was kind of like the one guy you really would have wanted.
yeah, it's like, I mean,
I love Brandon Ingram though. I think he's pretty underrated.
I do too. I think both these guys are gonna be fine in New Orleans, as in they'll play. Not everyone can play in LA, especially when you have all that. Like I said, you have the BS going on that's going on. Bless you. I just think when you look at, number one, it's these young guys. LeBron at this point does not need to be playing with any young guys unless it's like one or two of them. He needs experienced guys because he can't be in this whole teaching phase. He has 4 or 5 more years. He definitely wants to win another couple titles. He can't be in this teaching phase and trying to win those titles. He needs some guys that can go out there and play right away. I mean, I think Pat Beverly Beverly's gonna be a huge free agent this year, and I think he's not gonna go for a smaller contract. He knows his worth. I think he's gonna go out there and get paid a little bit because he's a pest. I mean, he's on the defensive end. You saw it against Kevin Durant. He was the biggest defensive problem for Kevin Durant all playoff long when he was playing. Literally all season long, it looked like at one point because he was really getting under his skin.
It's Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, and of course Kevin Durant did have his games against Beverly, but when we're looking at the head-to-head comparisons, Beverly did a better job than a lot of people did defensively against him.
Should we switch over to baseball and piss Brett off? What do you think about the whole race? What's going on right now? You guys got Encarnacion.
I have.
You wouldn't think the Yankees needed to add a bat.
Let me just have
Right?
30 seconds to explain something to the baseball world right now that if you're watching and you're not a Yankees fan, just stop watching. Because the season at this point for us is we're on a full
This is
go.
what you're doing right now? You're saying that.
Yes, I don't. And here's the thing: anyone who does not,
I love it because everyone else probably hates it.
but I'm not being arrogant about it. I'm just realizing.
You
this
are
point.
though.
No, because when you look at all the guys,
the season's over.
when you look at all the guys we have consistently lost, I'm wearing Severino's jersey. We don't even have our ace, and we're winning the division hands down. We took 3 out of 4 against Houston, swept Tampa. We've handled Tampa all year. We've done great against Boston. We are winning this division. We'll win 105 games at least. And then we're going to run to the playoffs. Houston will be our biggest threat. No team in the National League.
What about the pitching?
Who? Our pitching?
Brett said the pitching.
Okay,
yeah.
you can talk about our pitching. And we're still out there with 50 wins right now with our quote-unquote pitching. We still have the capital to go get one more guy. Clint Frazier can be traded right away.
Who are, and forgive me, I don't watch baseball as much as I should. Who are the top 3 starters? Tanaka's the number 1.
We have our 1, 2, 3 is it's Paxton, Tanaka.
Paxton's number 1?
Yeah, Paxton's playing as our 1, 2 on that one, because as well as Tanaka's been in that list with us, and we've been going through with pretty much those 2 running as a whole. Jermaine was doing very well for us. He was leading the American League in wins before he went out. He's out for 15 days on inflammation with his shoulder, but that's another young product we have, and we have all these younger guys. Jay Happ is
Paxton, Tanaka, and who's the third?
Jermaine, which have been a fantastic 1, 2, 3 for us. But if we do get Severino back, that means our 1, 2, 3, 4, because you were only running 4-man in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which we're really looking forward to, hopefully. And that means we don't have to worry about Happ or CC coming into the lineup. CC will be there for veteranship. Hopefully Happ is getting the hell out of the clubhouse by then. And then, we'll be able to run with our bullpen. And it's not that I'm being too arrogant on it, it's just I don't even see a team. I don't see.
You just told everybody to stop watching baseball.
If you're not a Yankees fan, but if you want to get upset because the evil empire is back, get upset. I love it. I personally love it. It's a great time, and it's gonna be a great time for us. Like I said, and he's saying the Yanks don't have pitching. That's great. We also don't have a couple of your guys in Chicago, like Quintana. I'll be fine without Quintana. I'm fine without Yu Darvish. I'm great without Yu Darvish. I think Chicago's got a great team to win the National League this year.
So you're predicting Yankees to win the World Series. Who are they going to play in the World Series?
I like Milwaukee a lot, to be honest with you. If Milwaukee adds Madison Bumgarner, I think they can really make that jump above Chicago, because I think Chicago's going to take the National League as of now. But if the Milwaukee adds another pitcher, I think they can come here and do it. I think both teams can beat the Dodgers, and everyone talks about the Dodgers, but for the past 7 years, when have the Dodgers been bad in the regular season? When have they not been leading somewhat in wins?
Well, also Kershaw is not what he used to be. There was a time when if you wanted to bet on the Dodgers when Kershaw was pitching, it was like minus 300.
Yes.
And now it's like you almost want to bet against him.
Well, and also on top of that, everyone forgets Kershaw has a 6-week break every year because of his back. Because he's getting quarter-done shots, he's missing most of the season, and then they'll have someone come in and step in for his role. And also, I mean, like I said, I think Chicago and Milwaukee, one of those 2 teams, will be playing New York in the World Series this year. It's either, and it all depends on Milwaukee has another starter. Because, like I said, New York has a lot of capital in our farm systems. We still have a Jose Abreu, who's a top 5 pitching prospect for us. We still have Clint Frazier, which is a proven bat that can hit major league pitching. We can go get somebody, and I don't think it's gonna be a Cleveland pitcher like I was hoping for, because Cleveland looks like they're gonna win that division. But
I think it's going to be the Twins, no?
Well, you're right, the Twins, but Cleveland should be in the wild card. Cleveland should still be in the playoff hope right now. I think if the playoffs were to start right now, they're in the playoffs. And we won't be, that means we can't get a Kluber or a Bauer.
But no need to watch baseball the rest of the year, Yankees.
I mean, if you hate the Yankees, and you don't want to see it, I'm saying watch it, enjoy it, love it, but I am saying as a Yankees fan, enjoy what's about to happen this year. It's going to be a good team.
No, I appreciate the confidence. It's just...
I mean, look at our
baseball is weird. There's a lot of shit that can happen.
We are just, like I said, we've proven without our players this year, with guys hurt, our ace is hurt, and we still have 50 wins.
Red Sox are 8 games back.
Yeah, Cleveland. Cleveland's got 43 right now.
Cleveland's 7.5 games back.
But I will say Houston, I think, is our biggest threat this year. I think Houston's an unbelievable team up and down. I do think our bullpen's a little bit better and it'll pay off more. I know that Osuna's having a great season with the Astros, but I still think we can get past the Astros. It's going to be I hope that is the ALCS. I always wanted to be Boston, New York for the ALCS, just for the fact that it's great for baseball and because it adds to the rivalry that they have. It's a historic rivalry. I love seeing it. And also, I want some bittersweet payback for what they did to us last year.
I don't want us.
Oh, dude.
I don't want us.
Listen, man, we could play 7 in Boston for all I care.
I don't want that.
But as a whole with baseball coming out, I would say that it's going to be MVP-wise. Christian Yelich is unbelievable right now. I don't know what the hell he's eating or drinking or what, but
isn't it like the LeBron James type thing? Like, shouldn't it always be Mike Trout, no matter what?
I don't agree with that. I don't, just because I get everyone says it should be Mike Trout. Like, Mike Trout won the American League MVP this year if it was to stop right now, I believe.
But people just get sick of voting for the same person. Like, he puts up insane stats every year.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always say the MVP is no longer, you won't have multiple consecutive MVPs anymore. Like, you won't have a Barry Bonds, like, 4 MVPs in a row anymore. You won't have a Michael Jordan with his amount of MVPs. LeBron James has been the best player more than 3 or 4 seasons, correct? 3 MVPs or 4 MVPs?
It depends on how you define, like, that most valuable.
Well, I was just saying, how many seasons has he, like, won the MVP? 3 or 4?
I think it's only 3.
Yeah, he's definitely been, it's like, he's been the best player more than 3 years, the most valuable player more than 3 years. Kobe Bryant, when he lost to Steve Nash, was a lot better than Steve Nash was for his team.
So you're not worried about the Cubs at all?
No, I think the Cubs have great offense, but I don't look at you, Darvish, or Jose Quintana as oh my God towards us. I don't look at them and say, like, I don't look at their starting rotation and feel like, oh my God, we have to be worried. Dallas Keuchel, we were able to hit Keuchel Krimble, we were able to hit Craig Krimble when he was in Boston. So if we can hit him in Boston, we can hit him in Chicago.
What was up with Fulton-Nevich for the Braves going down to assignment for like AA or AAA? Or whatever?
I didn't really look too much into that, to be honest with you.
It was weird. I thought he was like their ace.
I know Julio Teheran's having a great year right now for them. I think Atlanta, they're young, but I think they'll win that division. But I think they'll lose within the playoffs. But they should win that division, I believe. What are they up right now?
For who?
Oh, Atlanta's up 5.5.
Yeah, Atlanta's
I thought it was like a 3-game
5.5.
up right now, but Atlanta's looking like they're going to run away with that.
I think Dodgers have the best record.
They
I
do.
think
54 wins.
Yeah.
I do hope that the one thing I want the most right now is for Washington to keep dropping games, and Scherzer jumps on the market because he's got 3 more years on his contract too. So
it is interesting when you look at for like the Padres and the Phillies and everything with Harper and Machado. Like, you're spending all that money. I know you have to get the guy. Like, these guys are awesome, but isn't Harper's hitting like 240?
Yeah, 240, 250. But he's having the same. I think if he's not leading the league in strikeouts, he's top 3 in strikeouts. I do look at them and just think that, as a whole, I think that the Phillies, of course, they went after Harper for that big bat, but I don't believe he can build a team anymore with these $300 million, $400 million contracts. I love Aaron Judge. When Aaron Judge is eligible for his contract, I believe he's gonna be in his upper 20s because he wasn't a fresh out of high school, getting going right away guy. I mean, he was out of high school, but he didn't come into the league at like 19, 20.
There's weird statistics out there too, where it's like once these guys get past 24, 25, like those are their best years.
I mean, and you get paid for
Which sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, another question for you. You watch baseball more than me. Is Albert Pujols retiring?
No, it was his first game back in St. Louis is what it was.
It seemed like they were kind of giving him the send-off like he's retiring.
I believe he probably will retire. I know I just know that game was very emotional because he was a absolute, he's a historically great player for St. Louis, so it was his first game back in, and everyone getting the big celebration.
Sometimes sports gives you a moment, and why we love sports, but it's like sometimes it seems like it's rigged. It's like they give him this standing ovation, and he hits a home run.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I'm not cynical enough to be like.
It's like Derek Jeter's last game he hits a walk. His last game he hits a walk-off hit.
Or after Jose Fernandez died and D. Gordon hit, I think it was like a home run or a triple or
like
something
the longest home run he ever hit in his career.
And then he got caught for steroids, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, that's Orlando's finest, D. Gordon. He's an Orlando-made product. We got to show him love.
Oh man, I'm pumped up though for college football.
College football, yeah, man, I am.
I started doing mock drafts already.
Who's your big Heisman underdog? Who do you think can be a Heisman underdog for this year?
Did I just pick a Michigan player, or?
Jesus Christ. Yes, Shea Patterson's the Heisman underdog.
I don't even know if he's going to be our starting quarterback.
I was to say, what's going on with that?
We have a bunch of good quarterbacks. That's a good problem to have.
We have a bunch of good quarterbacks. I'm sorry, but come on, man. Don't be so arrogant. Like, here's the thing, I get that, but that was a strong statement. We have a bunch of good quarterbacks.
You just told everybody not to watch baseball anymore because the Yankees are going to win the fucking World Series.
I'm excited. Okay.
Fuck you.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All I said is we had a couple options at quarterback.
I never even heard options in that sense. You said we have a lot of good quarterbacks.
You told people not to watch baseball anymore.
You told the world that you guys have a lot of good quarterbacks. It's a good problem to have. I'm not.
We got a couple good options. I don't know. Shea Patterson's good. That's fine. We got a couple of other good young guys. We have Christian McCaffrey's brother, Dylan McCaffrey.
Okay.
He's not going to be the starter though. I don't know. We're going to go like.
Will you guys be better than UCF?
We're going to go like. Really? No, we're going to go like 9-0, and then we're going to lose to Ohio State.
I don't know if you guys lose to Ohio State. Yeah, I don't know if you guys lose to Ohio State this year. Like
we
I said,
lose to Ohio State every year.
Yeah, but like there's a reason behind it. This year he's gone.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that piece of shit.
You guys got Ryan Day to pounce all over. So serious question, and we're gonna go back to this.
These schools recruit themselves.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's you can grab recruits just
like if you replaced Nick Saban with me or you, how many more games would they lose? One?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think that
after what I saw, think you win the same amount of games.
After what I saw, I know Clemson would do the same to me. I know that much. I can tell you that much. The national championship would look the same.
Well, you give me Trevor Lawrence, yeah.
I would be like, oh wow, so we just lost 42-49 or whatever it was.
It's fucking Ohio State. Not to get off of this Big Ten tangent, but then we have fucking Ohio State. Oh, so you lose out on this guy, you lose out on Haskins, and then it's Cardell Jones, and it's this guy, and then the number one recruit in the country, and Justin Fields, he goes from Georgia, and he goes to Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Why don't you just fuck off and stay in Georgia? Like, why do you go to Ohio State? I don't understand. It's like a personal vendetta against me. I don't get it.
I couldn't tell you on that one, dude.
Shea Patterson's like the same size as me. I beat him in arm wrestling.
Did you really?
No, I could.
Oh, I thought you did arm wrestle. I was like, oh man. And you haven't been trashed. If I beat any big time quarterback in arm wrestling, he's getting trashed.
Shea Patterson probably graduated high school in like 2017 or something.
Yeah, the water's different now. The water changed after 2011.
No,
what it was.
My point being is that he's like small. He looks frail.
Yeah, he does.
I don't want my quarterback to look like it's hard for him to throw the ball.
It's like watching Dak Prescott sometimes, so I understand what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, oh god, it's just it's a slant route, dude.
Jason Witten back. So
yeah. Oh my god. Talk about that's just embarrassing. I'm sorry. That's embarrassing to have him back right now.
What do you mean?
Like, make him a coach. He's like, no, you don't bring. What's next? Dez is going to come back in the middle of the year. DeMarcus.
Michigan sucks. That's not true.
He said Michigan sucks.
No, for the whole thing, I was saying the same thing to Brett when he was on this. Why are you paying $3-4 million for a tight ends coach?
Well, I mean,
just have him. Yeah. It's the same thing for the Heat. Just have Udonis Haslem be a coach.
I don't like the fact that he's coming back because all it does is slow down development with some of our guys. Because he's now going to be getting reps in situations that Blake Jarman should be getting those reps. Someone else should be getting those reps. Someone for the future, not like Jason Witten's last year wasn't great. Everyone's acting like, oh, Jason Witten left at the top of his game. No, he was really.
I thought you were talking about the
apart.
broadcasting because the broadcasting was terrible.
Oh my God, dude.
As opposite of you could be as Tony Romo, that was the opposite.
I say that was the problem. Like Tony was really good at it, and they.
It's like Magic Johnson on Twitter. It's like,
No.
all he's tweeting out is like the schedule for the night. He's like, the Bucks are playing the Pistons tonight. It's
Like, thanks, man.
great.
Listen, so I you know what, I still think he's better than OJ on Twitter, but
Well, I mean, you can't get much worse than that.
oh, dude, that's
He's got some payback to get.
I don't even have Twitter, but I'm thinking about bringing it back on just to follow OJ, to be honest with you. Well, I really do. Like, I just like, because when I see some of the stuff, like, bro, this is just hysterical. It's like when Snoop Dogg used to do the wildlife videos and he would narrate them.
yeah.
They're absolutely hysterical.
Hey, is that a fucking meerkat?
What is it, a mongoose or something?
Oh, look at that motherfucker.
He's just like, he's having a great time. I love it. It was awesome.
Yeah, Tony Romo is the best. He should call every single game.
I would let Tony Romo call my child being born.
He's gonna officiate my wedding.
Dude, I want him to, honestly. See, I would have accepted him coming back as a coach for some sort of us, but the problem is he's getting paid too damn much, and it's like, what
He'd
can
be
he...
a better coach for the Cowboys than fucking Jason Garrett.
You would be a better coach than Jason Garrett. A lot of people, everyone in this building right now would be a better coach than Jason Garrett. I hope his grandkids
at
are
least
being
a
bullied.
tie.
I can't stand them. Yes. I would take Harbaugh over Jason Garrett.
Well, that's actually a really good coach that you're talking about over there, so just keep his name out of your mouth.
He's a quarterback whisperer, so hopefully he whispers enough into Dak's ear to say, it's a slant route, relax. Throw the routes.
Man, you remember those Denard Robinson years?
Denard route, Shoeless Joe?
We weren't that good, but those were some exciting years.
I won money off you guys during the Chad Henne days when
I
you guys
smashed
beat
my
Florida.
remote against a wall in the Notre Dame game.
Ooh.
I remember it.
Man.
Like it was yesterday.
That you know what the worst part about that is Notre Dame was carrying that win for like the whole season after winning. It was like, you know what? It was the beginning of the year thing. I did not think
we won. It was like 4 overtime that we won.
I hate Notre Dame.
I think everybody does.
It's just
You
like-
know your school sucks when everybody is their rival.
Yeah, it's like they can just make up their own
Oh,
schedule.
you're Notre Dame. Who's your rival? Oh, Michigan.
Yeah.
USC. Miami.
Yes.
Everybody's your rival because you suck.
That's my thought process on that one. What's going on with your baseball game? Michigan, Vanderbilt.
We're down 1-0 right now.
Oh man, that's starting to fit into Vanderbilt's game.
I fully expect us to lose, but
Again, it'd be nice to have a 3-game.
it is what it is. We can get in some U.S. women's national team talk. Did you watch that game at all?
I did not, man. I'll be honest. I'm awful with soccer. And I'm one of those people when it comes to soccer that I tried to watch it. I get more into when it's like in the final stages. Like I expect us to beat some of the teams that we have played, just because as our development into women's soccer is higher than a lot of other countries as well. Women's sports in our country is a lot better than a lot of other countries.
It is
as
weird.
well.
Like, why are we so much better in women's soccer than everybody else? It doesn't make sense.
Well, you got to think. Our development in our country with sports.
They have
is kind of-
rights? Is that what it is?
I didn't want to say that, but that is true. Though. They can yell back at a coach. You can't have a team in Saudi
I
doing
believe that we can kick. I believe that we can kick.
I do believe that our men's, hopefully, like I tried watching, I didn't get to watch our men's in the past World Cup because they weren't there, and that's what kind of sucked on it. Is like that's the only time I watch any type of men's soccer whatsoever.
Corey said shoeless Joe on the mic. I don't even know what that means.
I'm so glad they should get beat FSU. Oh man, FSU. Little Willie Taggart. Can't wait to see you guys get upset with that one this year. Little Willie.
I can't wait for football, man. I'm excited.
That's going to be the big plus side. I think this upcoming college season, I do think it's going to end in the same, but I do believe that Oklahoma is going to make a real big push because I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be probably the most determined to go out there and win a championship this year than he's ever been. And that offense has done nothing but proven like quarterbacks can succeed. And I think
is he that good though?
I don't think it's that he's that good, but I think the system is that good.
It's not like Baker Mayfield or any of these other guys transferring. Jalen Hurts to me was like a product of Alabama. Like he didn't make plays. He kind of just worked within the offense.
Yeah, but that's been every Alabama quarterback up until Tua though. Like McElroy, they're the one in between.
And now it's not fair
McCarron.
because they have a fucking awesome quarterback.
Yeah, but I just do look at Jalen, and Jalen I do believe is going to come out into this season playing with Oklahoma, which is a very offense heavily driven system, and I think he's going to have a great year.
You know what I find weird about recruiting if you're a really good quarterback, why wouldn't you just go to Alabama? It's like, oh, wow, look at this awesome team is missing a good quarterback.
Because guys don't want. I mean, come on, Justin Fields didn't want to wait 2 years for Fromm. You think anybody wants to go to Alabama?
Don't say that name in front
No,
of me.
nobody wants to go to Nobody wants to wait anymore. Is the big thing. Like Kelly Bryant left right away.
I already know he's gonna light us up too.
Nah,
He's a fucking asshole.
He looks damn good. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't hate Fields. I was a bigger Lawrence fan. Fields was 1 in that recruiting class, and Fields was 1, Lawrence was 2. And I wasn't the biggest Fields guy. I thought, yeah, he looks great at the combines, this and that, but Lawrence is just like, I mean, for God's sakes, we saw him this year alone. Like, Fields couldn't start over Fromm, and I'm not taking anything away from
But Fromm is going to be like a top 5 pick.
But he's slipping out. They have Herbert ahead of him as well as Tua, but I think at the end of the day, he will be a top 5 pick.
They're all going to be top 5
Yeah,
picks.
I think he will be a top 5 pick.
Everyone needs a quarterback.
And I do think, though, however, like, if he was that good, because Kelly Bryant only lost like 1 game in college.
Trevor Lawrence looks like the girl from Ozark.
He does look weird. He looks like he's just in that awkward stage where it's like, he kind of looks like a guy, but then kind of doesn't at the same time. But then you see him play football, and you're like, wow, man, that guy's a damn man out there throwing the football.
Yeah, he's just like the prototypical quarterback.
He's going to be the Dolphins' next quarterback.
No, they're not going to be lucky enough to get him.
I don't know. They suck, dude. The Dolphins are really bad.
That's what everyone said last year, too, though.
Dude, the Dolphins are bad. Like, their best receiver is a guy that plays 3 games a year. Devontae Parker, is it? That's their best
Yeah,
receiver,
but
right?
he's going to break out one year.
Wow, man. Wow.
He went to Ohio State, you know, that's his
Lions
problem.
or a Dolphins fan? Because every Dolphins
I'm not
fan,
a Dolphins fan at
Every
all.
Dolphins fan tells me Devontae Parker's going to break it out one of these days.
Yeah, he went to Ohio State. That's why he's fucked up health.
I mean, they went, oh, man, I don't know. The Dolphins.
Greg Oden, Devontae Parker.
Greg Oden, Devontae. I don't think that the Dolphins had the worst team out there, but I do think that they're determined to make sure they have the worst record.
Who's going to be the worst team?
I still think the Bills are up there. I mean,
I think the Bills will be decent.
the Bills somehow find a way to win 5-6 games every year. Every year they do.
Find a way to keep on chugging along.
I don't know how, but they do.
games.
Like, they'll win 2 games because it's 14 feet of snow. And then you're like, okay, so like there's that. Then
Somebody lights themselves on fire and jumps in a porta potty in the tailgate.
like it's the Bills Mafia helps produce 1 win, and then somehow Josh Allen will run for 130 yards in 2 of the wins. So there's your 5 wins right there.
The worst team is going to be the Bengals.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try like hell to be the worst team. So I don't know. They wouldn't even have to try. They're just going to suck.
Calling it now. Worst team is going to be the Bengals.
Actually played at Wake Forest. Oh, well, sorry that we're not keeping track of Devontae Parker.
No, Devontae Parker was from Ohio State.
Then who's Wake Forest?
I don't know.
Leave a comment about it.
Oh, wow. Guys in the Bachelorette played. Oh, wow. Well, he played at Wake Forest.
Talking about crab legs?
I don't know. I'm not watching The Bachelorette enough to know that I don't watch The
Bachelorette.
I don't, man.
Anyways, we're going to get more into football, I think, starting next week. We can do some kind of fantasy football stuff,
fine with
college
that.
football stuff, NFL stuff.
And we can celebrate the Brooklyn Nets.
I don't know about that, if there's time.
I've been waiting since 2005 when we got Vince Carter to celebrate.
All
again.
I'm going to be doing now is rooting against the Yankees every single day.
Welcome to the rest of the world.
Since you said that.
But you know what? I don't hold back, guys. It's a Yankees year. The evil empire is back.
You just told everybody not to watch baseball for the rest of the year.
Only if they don't want to see the Yankees win the World Series. If you want to watch, because you love the game, watch it. But at the same
Should
time,
we do like a bet right now? Yankees not to win the World Series? But I got to give you some kind of odds.
okay, what are the odds on this one?
If Yankees win the World Series, I owe you 100. If they don't, you owe me 20.
What?
5 to.
That's good odds.
I like it.
That's fine.
Oh man, is that it?
Did you already exit out?
Oh, wow,
Bundesliga!
Duck Hunt
Duck Hunt, yes.
Tuesday. Are we? Oh, I thought we were. I thought when you said Bundesliga, we're done.
I thought that was the end.
I thought that was the last call at that point.
We're still
Oh wow! I didn't realize we're still on. I thought you said we're okay. We're done. I was like, okay, so I take this. It's paused over here. That's just killing me.